Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy God thy glory. Thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself. For the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. Thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time.
The ocean spirit dances today to abundance and joy and to eternal peace.
Jake about to live, man. Jake about to truly live forever. And how we gonna tap in? Through this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is gonna lead us into eternal life. This wisdom is gonna bring us into the kingdom of heaven, which starts with the elect. In Lord's will, we are those men. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, and verse 17. And it reads, "For the very true beginning of her," and her represents wisdom, "for the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love, and love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom." So this wisdom is going to bring us into the kingdom of heaven, because it starts with the Lord's men. "If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O you kings of the people, honor wisdom, that you may reign forevermore." You see?
To the glory of our golden age, may it shine forever.
So we're going to reign forever. Lord's willing, we are part of the elect.
Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. And her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. And he saith unto me, Right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, These are the true sayings of God.
Shalom. Shalom, bro. Hey, you guys are fun.
Shalom. All right. All right. First and foremost, let me give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Bakakadash, and double to Pastor Edison GMS. Citation to the brother Push word of truth and sincere four corners. The GMS Mississippi camp. Tonight, we're going to go into the end time prophecies, the Motb. All right. I'm going to let the brothers take over.
Cool. So, as we know, all right, the biggest, headline, all right, before Yahweh Shai, returns is the Motb being mandated, so we, as the scriptures say, we're always in the spirit of watching. Matter of fact, let's start with that precept real quick. Let's get the book of Matthew, chapter 26 and 41. Let's get that, because the Lord has raised up watchmen in these last days, okay, to be on our watch, and this devil, he's in his last phase of his kingdom. He only has a few moves left, all right, that he can make, before he gets checkmated, okay, and the Motb is one of those major moves, that we follow, You know, so as Howard Shah told us, as you can read it, Papa Shah.
Let me read 42 or do you want me to go straight to 41, bro?
Uh, what it say 41? Let me
41,
see.
watch and pray.
Yeah, 41. You read 40. Yeah, read
Come,
41.
come, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 41. It's Yahweh Shah speaking. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is
Yeah,
weak.
yeah. And temptation going into trials. Because we know that the last major test, okay, is the MOTB being made mandated, man. And as we look out, as we're on our watch, all right, we're seeing everything happening, okay, leading up to the devil making this transition, man. Okay, he's going to crash the economy. That's why he has, these certain crises happening. These poly crises. A lot of things are fabricated, manufactured, but a lot of things, there's things happening. Okay, that's forcing this devil, to hurry up with his play. The Most High is really putting pressure on Esau to hurry up with his play, man. Okay, so that's why we've seen the devil, just become more and more open, with where they're going with this technology, man, and it's under the skin. His intention is to get under your skin to make you one with this technology. And John the Revelator, he's seen the prophecy of what this nigga will be doing in these last days, man. This is what John the Revelator seen in Revelation 13 and 16. Okay, he's seen technocracy. He's seen, all right, digital public infrastructure. He's seen, all right, chipping stations. He's seen, people transactioning with this new digital currency, man. Okay, he's seen people being merged with this technology, man. So as we're seeing this playing out real time, this is what we was warned about in the scriptures, man, right before the coming of Yahweh Shai. So let's get that in Revelation 13 and 16. And then we'll get there in Second Thessalonians, and we'll say with the video. And if y'all brothers got a point, you know what I'm saying, y'all tap in.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, starting at verse 16. And he called it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Yeah, and that mark, as we know, is charagma. All right. Then when you go into charagma, you got another word, charax, okay, which charax goes into an insertion, you know. So when you go into, all right, this word in the Greek, charagma, and the root word charax, well, it's explaining, okay, something that's going through the skin, something that's piercing the skin and being placed in the skin, you know. So when you go into charagma, it's said in his head or his hand or his forehead, man, and you look at the technology that this devil is presenting to the earth, man, it's this RFID microchip and what? There's Neuralink, man. But the main component of the MOTB is the RFID microchip, man. But that's the one that most people, are going to take and able to buy and sell. Neuralink is, more so experimental because of the way they have to, try to implant it. It's a much more complicated procedure. Okay, but it's a very simple procedure for them to get that, all right, that needle, that instrument, okay, and inject that microchip the size of a grain of rice, okay, into your hand, okay, either hand, wherever they put it, even they put that in your forehead, okay. Either way, we know what the devil, everything that the devil is doing is centered around this prophecy, man. You got it, bro.
If I may, bro. And that also, we got to keep beating the dead horse on it, of course. But this, it shows that this is a physical mark. This is something that's physical. This is not something that's spiritual. This is not something that you can't see. It ain't sin. It ain't, it ain't the juice. It ain't none of this. All this other stuff that the bug guys come up with is MOTB. The C hip is the MOTB, man. That's exactly what it is via the scriptures, via Yahweh Bashim Shah. Yes, man.
Okay.
And I want to add that it said both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. You know, and that's every status under the sun. That's every status under the sun. You know, so it's a broad net. It's a as because it's gonna be connected to the internet, so it's gonna be a broadcast. You know, it's and it's just like in the it's just like in Daniel, because you know nothing new on the sun. It's just like in Daniel when he made that decree that everybody that shouldn't worship the image will be you know thrown in the fire. You know, and it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be if you're not willing to get down, you're going to be put to death. You know, and if you don't have anything to stand for, you will not stand. You know, and people who have something to stand for will fight, but those who don't have Yahweh Shemal Shai within them, they're gonna lose because you might stand for the American flag. You're gonna lose. You might stand for or whatever, or left wing, right wing, whatever. You're going to lose. You know, if you're not standing for Yahweh Shemal Shai, because it's gonna take a deeper belief within you to do
Yeah.
to reject
Just,
this.
yeah, and just to be specific, you got to be of the elect of Israel. You know, it's the only people that has a victory over what this devil is getting ready to bring is the elect of the chosen nation of Israel. You know, there's an elect out of all 12 tribes, you know, that's prophesied to have a victory over this beast system, man. So if you're not of the elect of Israel, okay, predestined from the beginning, you out of there, man. You know, you're gonna be overtaken. You know, you had something, y'all. You can say something.
Yeah, I want to say because that's a spirit. Because I was speaking, I was just really thinking about the predestination. Because actually, that it hit me again like today in the spirit, either today or last night, going to that predestination. Because hey, at the end of the day, we're gonna need.
Hey, get that for the brother.
I'm already on it, bro.
There's Ephesians 1 and Ephesians 1 and 4. So you got it, bro.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're gonna need that. We're gonna need to be kept, man. Because at the end of the day, because if we kept from this, and we was already kept from the beginning, and in the end is manifest from the beginning. So we just, Lord willing, that we do the elect. We just falling into the lot that Yahweh Shai got for us, because it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of people that reject this Motb, but don't mean they're gonna be part of the elect.
Okay, I got that for you right here, bro. This is Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 4. According as he have chosen us and in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love.
Yeah. So, and this is how we're persuaded. You know, we're persuaded in the faith that we are part of this chosen, that's predestined, or basically, you know, that's kept again with the Revelation 13. No, was it 3 and 10? Going into based on how we are, you know, kept from the hour of temptation, man. So, and that's how they gonna get that victory, because it's gonna be Yahweh Shem Shai who already got it, who already got you standing on it, and you know, because everything gonna basically like even the angels is gonna keep you, because even the Lord say even in the time of famine, because they tying everything, you know, going into the control, that bartering system, everything, they tying all this into the Motb, but outside of this man's system, the Lord gonna have divine intervention, you know, for us to be able to eat, to drink, you know. So basically, because if it wasn't for the Lord who was on the outside, you know, hey man, we would just fail, man. But hey, we're not gonna fall to Esau's system. And I wanted to get real quick back in 16 in Revelation 13, it said that no man may buy or sell. See, that's another point, because what everybody's saying, what the Motb is outside of the what it actually is, what GMS said it is, which is the microchip. We are really
we're still dealing with cash and everything is still flowing, but the microchip haven't been made mandatory yet. So once this is established and made mandatory, then you're gonna see everything else, because it's gonna be pressure made on this. This is gonna be pressurized. Like, this is gonna be the thing that's gonna separate you from being of those who actually took the mark, which is what it is, rather than who didn't, and for those who taught something different, which was what it wasn't, which going into it with that what is it, the sleeping with the white woman, Christianity, all these different these different things, man, because this is gonna be a physical, like the brother said, it's gonna be something physically put in you. It's gonna be a physical mark. So you're gonna have to have this physical mark to either be able to go out and buy or sell. I know brothers probably got precepts, but I want to hold that that 15-minute city. They had like a chart on it that the brother Jeremiah had shared with me, back about 2 years ago. That central digital banking system.
If you put it in the chat, I can bring it up for you, bro.
Okay. Good job, brothers. Got it.
You still want to? Did you want the Revelation 13, bro?
I just really just got it.
By
yeah. You can. Yeah, come. You can get it.
Okay, come.
This is Revelation 13. This is Revelation 13 and 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. So, this is gonna be a physical thing, because it said basically either rich or poor, free or bond. So this is gonna be a physical instrument that's gonna be used to make a separation, So, but it's really gonna group everybody together, because at the end of the day, we understand this devil. He really want full control. Again, he want to be like the Most High, and he really just want to track, be able to control, and basically have the world, and even going back into that the birthright. But on this point right here, this devil, he just want to control everything, man. But this is what Yahweh Shem Yahushua got this devil getting ready to do, to make that distinction of those that's going to be separated, and basically, because even the lake of fire, that's going to be a prophet that's linking to this, the Revelation 14 chapter. So let me drop this in there. That's all I had, bro. I'm gonna drop this in the group real quick.
If I may add too, bro, going into how I said that no man, so I can verse 18, if I can get that one. It says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which we know that goes into 666, which is the number of going into the anti-Mashiach and the beast system. But it says, here is wisdom. So ultimately, if you're preaching or saying anything besides this, ultimately that's also the Lord saying that you had that what you're saying, that there is no wisdom in that. So the wisdom is coming from Yahweh Shema Shah. The wisdom is preaching directly what the Motb is going into the C-hip, and it is this implantable device that they want to put in you for the digital system. And if you have understanding, you're gonna know, who this man is that's behind it and that's running this big system, which is the wicked Esau.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let's pull up that Elon Musk video. Let's go ahead and pull that up.
Okay.
And then have the brother video on deck too.
Okay.
To go after this. You had something to say before we got into the video?
No, I got a precept, but I can wait, bro. I can wait.
Okay, come. All right, you got it, bro.
Imagine waking up one day and realizing that your brain can talk directly to a computer. No keyboard, no screen, no voice commands, just thoughts. The same thoughts you are having right now. This is not science fiction anymore. This is not a movie concept. This is real, and it's already happening. And at the center of it all is Elon Musk's most controversial and most mysterious project ever, Neuralink. What if paralysis was no longer permanent? What if blindness could be reversed? What if memories could be stored, edited, or even enhanced? And the most unsettling question of all, what if your thoughts were no longer completely private? Neuralink is not just another tech startup. It is a doorway into a future that could completely redefine what it means to be human. Some people call it a miracle, others call it dangerous, and a few call it the beginning of the end of human independence. So today, stay with me till the very end, because once you understand what Neuralink really is, how it works, and where it's heading, you might never look at your own brain the same way again. Elon Musk has built electric cars, reusable rockets, and satellites that cover the entire planet. But according to him, Neuralink might be his most important work. Why? Because he believes that humans are already losing a silent war, a war against artificial intelligence. AI is getting smarter every single day, faster than humans, more efficient, less emotional. Elon Musk has warned multiple times that if humans don't merge with AI, we could become irrelevant. Neuralink, according to him, is the bridge, a direct connection between the human brain and machines. But what exactly is Neuralink? At its core, Neuralink is a tiny brain implant about the size of a coin. Inside this small chip are thousands of ultra-thin threads, even thinner than a human hair. These threads are carefully inserted into specific areas of the brain by a highly precise surgical robot. The purpose of these threads is simple but powerful. They read and transmit brain signals. Your brain works using electrical signals. Every thought, every movement, every emotion is just a complex pattern of electrical activity. Neuralink captures these signals, translates them into digital data, and sends them to a computer. And it can also do the reverse. It can send signals back into the brain. This means your brain could one day receive information directly. No learning curve, no training, instant understanding. Sounds unbelievable, right? But Neuralink has already shown real results. In animal trials, monkeys have played video games using only their minds. No control, no physical movement, just thoughts. One monkey was able to play Pong after having the chip implanted, and it worked so smoothly that many people didn't even realize how revolutionary it was. And then came the human trials. In early human testing, Neuralink successfully implanted its chip into a human patient who was paralyzed. This person was able to move a cursor on a screen, type messages, and interact with a computer using only their thoughts. Think about that for a moment. Someone who could not physically move regained a form of digital freedom. This is where the true power of Neuralink begins to reveal itself. For people suffering from paralysis, spinal cord injuries, or neurological disorders, Neuralink could be life-changing. Imagine being locked inside your own body, fully conscious but unable to move or speak. Neuralink could give such people a voice again, a way to communicate, a way to work, a way to live independently. For blind individuals, Neuralink could potentially restore vision by sending visual data directly to the brain. For people with hearing loss, it could bypass damaged ears and stimulate the auditory cortex directly. For patients with Parkinson's, epilepsy, or severe depression, Neuralink could regulate abnormal brain activity and restore balance. This is not theory. These are goals that Neuralink is actively working toward. But here's where things start to get uncomfortable. If a device can read brain signals, it can also potentially record them. And if it can send signals into the brain, it can influence thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Who controls that data? Your phone already tracks your location, habits, and preferences. Social media already influences your thoughts without you realizing it. Now, imagine a device that sits inside your brain. A device that understands you, your emotions better than you do. A device that knows what you're thinking before you say it. Elon Musk says Neuralink will prioritize privacy and security. He claims the data will belong to the user. But history has shown us that data, especially valuable data, rarely stays private forever. A hack brain is no longer a metaphor. It's a real possibility. Another concern is long-term safety. The human brain is incredibly delicate. Implanting foreign objects into it always carries risk. Infections, inflammation, and unknown long-term effects are real concerns. Even if the surgery is successful, what happens after 10 years? Or 20? And then there's the ethical question. If Neuralink becomes advanced enough, it may not be limited to medical use. Healthy individuals might choose to enhance themselves. Faster learning, better memory, higher intelligence, direct internet access in the brain. This creates a dangerous divide. Those who can afford enhancement and those who can't. A world where intelligence is no longer just natural, but purchasable. Would enhanced humans have unfair advantages in jobs, education, and power? Would natural humans slowly fall behind? Would society pressure people into getting implants just to stay competitive? And what about identity? If your memories can be altered, backed up, or deleted, what makes you you? If your thoughts are influenced by software updates, are they still your own? Elon Musk believes that Neuralink is necessary for survival. He sees it as a defensive move against superintelligent AI. Instead of competing with machines, we merge with them. But critics argue that this solution creates even bigger risks. They say it hands too much control to corporations and technology itself. They warn that once this door is opened, it can never be closed. And here's something most people don't realize. Neuralink is not the only company working on brain-computer interfaces. Governments, military organizations, and other private companies are also investing heavily in this space. This means that even if Neuralink slows down or fails, the technology itself will continue to advance. The question is not if brain implants will become common. The question is when, and who will control them. Imagine a future where sending a message is as fast as thinking it, where learning a new language takes minutes, where physical disabilities no longer define a person's limits, where creativity, intelligence, and communication reach levels we can barely imagine. Now imagine the opposite future, a world where thoughts are monitored, where freedom of mind no longer exists, where silence inside your own head is no longer guaranteed. Neuralink stands exactly between these two futures. It is one of the most hopeful technologies ever created and one of the most terrifying. Elon Musk once said that the biggest danger is not that AI will become evil, but that humans will become obsolete. Neuralink is his attempt to make sure that doesn't happen. Whether it saves humanity or changes it forever in ways we can't undo, that remains to be seen. One thing is certain. The moment humans connect their brains directly to machines, history will split into two parts. Before Neuralink and after. And when that moment fully arrives, the world will never be the same again. Now let's go even deeper, because what you've heard so far is only the surface of what Neuralink could truly mean for humanity. Think about how humans have evolved. For thousands of years, our brains stayed almost the same. Tools changed, weapons changed, civilizations rose and fell. But the human brain remained limited by biology. Learning took years. Communication required language. Knowledge had to be memorized, written, and passed down slowly. Then came the internet. Suddenly, information was everywhere. But even then, there was a bottleneck. Fingers had to type. Eyes had to read. Ears had to listen. The speed of thought was still faster than the speed of interaction. Neuralink aims to remove that bottleneck. Elon Musk describes it as increasing the bandwidth between humans and machines. Right now, that bandwidth is painfully slow. You think faster than you can speak. You understand more than you can express. Neuralink wants to unlock that trapped potential. Imagine thinking of a sentence, and it appears instantly on a screen. Imagine composing music just by feeling it. Imagine designing complex systems without touching a keyboard. Art, creativity would no longer be limited by physical ability. And this is where things get truly mind-bending. If thoughts can be converted into data, they can be stored. That means memories could one day be backed up. Skills could be saved. Experiences could be revisited with perfect clarity. You wouldn't just remember a moment. You would relive it. For soldiers suffering from PTSD, traumatic memories could be softened or disconnected from
You can
emotional
stop
pain.
right there.
For Alzheimer's patients, memories could be preserved before they.
And this is what, the devil is presenting to the masses. He's telling you this is the reason for this technology, man. Okay. And that technology doesn't have the capability to do what he's saying is able to do. Okay. Because people really think that that's going to increase their memory, that that's going to make them be able to learn, light and fast, and, all this science fiction BS, man. Okay. The whole reason for this technology is for a control system. Okay. It's all about control. It ain't about enhancing no goddamn body, man. Here it is. This whole kingdom is meant to destroy you, but all of a sudden he has this technology to enhance you. Okay. Because you look at people's memory. Well, look at the diet. Look at the frequencies that he's pushed out to destroy people clarity and memory and make people lethargic and foggy. The fluoride in the toothpaste and the water, the chemtrails. So this man does everything to destroy you, but all of a sudden, all right, he has this high-tech technology to turn you to a superhuman. It's a goddamn lie. And see, with the technique that this nigga using is called gaslighting. I'm gonna share it real quick. I looked up the purpose of gaslighting, but then you guys tell one of stuff you got. I just want to get this definition. So when you go into ask Google, what's the primary purpose of gaslighting? All right, so the primary purpose of gaslighting is to gain and maintain power and control over another person. It is a form of psychological manipulation that forces a victim to doubt their own perceptions, memories, and sanity, eventually, making them dependent on the manipulator for a correct version of reality. Okay, so all this hype about AI and Neuralink and this technology, all right, all they're doing is gaslighting you so they can manipulate your perception, all right, and depend on them for a correct version of reality, man. Okay, they're just herding people into the masses, making it seem as if AI and technology is gonna be so far beyond human comprehension that if you don't merge with it, then you won't be able to keep up. So it's just a gaslight manipulation, that these devils are pushing. Then they use these characters like Elon Musk, well, he's just the face, okay, of an agenda. Okay. Elon ain't in the lab somewhere coming up with technology. People think like Elon in the lab coat, and he's at the desk, actually putting wires together and going into things and tying things in. He's not doing that. He's just a face, okay, used to be a mascot for the technology, man. So I just want to get there real quick, but you got Tiger one.
Oh, come, bro, come. Can bro give me Revelation 3:10 in NLT?
3 and 10 NLT.
Mm-hmm. Because this comes down on everybody. It's not just one person or 5 people, 6 people, 10, 1,000. This come down from everyone. Everybody gonna got to go through this situation. But go ahead, bro.
God, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 10. As Yahweh Shah speaking, because you have obeyed my command to preserve, so I can persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world.
See, it said a test. All right, this is the ultimate test that will be brought upon this world, man. Everybody gonna go through it, man. But the only one not gonna fail the test is the elect. That's different. And it said who belongs to this world, and everybody belong to this world, man. Especially if you all about this system and you want this shit to continue to carry on, you gonna take it. You don't want to struggle. Uh, you don't be outside outside we call it basically the community. You gonna take it. But this situation,
Yeah, outside
MOT coming down
society, yeah.
society. So guess what? everybody gonna come. Everybody, it's the ultimate test. But the 2/3 in the world, they gonna take it, bro. Cause you know how they like a little happened 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 4 years ago. Everybody wants society to be back, right? And what did people do? They broke their fucking necks and went down and took the juice, and they all fucked up because they want the world to be back normal. All right, but that's all I got.
Bro. And whatever else brothers got, y'all got it. No, real quick. I now put that link in the comment board too, just in case brothers want to tap in. But yeah, whatever y'all brothers got, y'all got it.
If I may, bro, ultimately,
we're getting the habit of putting it up. Yeah,
I got it up there. It should have been. There it is. And if I may, like the devil, he's trying to basically make it seem like you said, he's solving all these problems that we don't merge with AI, we're gonna get left behind. And when we was watching the video, the priest of Lot, he said something. He's like, what did you say? He said the term of the nigga so smart, he dumb at the same time. I think what you said.
Yeah. He's so smart. You're so smart. You're dumb. Like you trying to make yourself seem so ingenious that you don't see the dumb stuff that's happening, the consequences, the cons. That the cons is outweighing the pros. You know.
God, he creating his own enemy. He's like, if we don't merge with it, we're gonna get left behind. Well, nigga, just turn it off. You know what I'm saying? But he can't do that because he was like, what did the video say? Did the C hip or the endo link is gonna be his greatest creation yet? Because of the everything he can do. Now it's just your puppet master is pushing you. That's your main priority. Damn these cars. Damn these robots. We need you focused on this. That's why this is his biggest thing. Yeah, that's ultimately why all the satellites and all this is for a form of mass control.
And if I may add, man, that's like this man is just lying. It's just not gonna do all that. Scripture says you're gonna be able to buy. You can't buy or sell with it. That's it. The rest of the stuff, this man is overhyping it. This man is overhyping it, and that's how he's going to get people to believe him, because this man is a liar. This man has been a liar from the beginning.
You should have that because we got that one too. I can get it.
Kind.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
He's gonna be, his technology might seem incredible. All the stuff he got going in his system, you might be impressed by it, but nah, they're not gonna be able to do the things they're talking about. All this stuff, nah.
Keep reading on it. Verse 10.
Okay.
Verse 10, it says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
It's people are gonna believe this and die because they ain't believing Yahweh Shemal Shah. Those, especially 2/3 of our people, because they believe in they ain't believing Yahweh Shemal Shah, they're gonna trust in this system and be destroyed, like Scripture says. Woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help. Our help is Yahweh Shemal Shah. I got another one for brother. Don't have anything.
I got something real quick.
But y'all hands up. Yeah.
You come, bro. What Sirach 12:10 tell us not to even trust in this devil. Never trust our enemy.
Cause that's the spirit that I'll hold.
So even in that video, it said it won't even be a good idea for them, because it's always gonna be something bad that happen. Even when they merging a so-called machine or they data with the human brain or whatnot, you know. But brother can get Revelation 16 real quick, and
You want the Sirach or the Revelations?
I get the Revelation. I just quoted the Sirach.
Okay, good. You said Revelations. Which one? What chapter, bro? Your sound went out.
Yeah. I was on mute with slop. Yeah, it's gonna be Revelation 16. Get verse 2. And when you get it, get that word grievous and sore. Because slop. Yeah, because what even in that video what we're saying is it won't be a good idea because it's gonna be always a negative effect when you're doing these things, merging technology with the human. Which going into them, merging, the technology, which is going into this fourth industrial revolution, which is going into we're trying to merge man with the machine anyway. Man, this is a bad idea. But like the brother said, but even on Esau's behalf, I mean, this devil, he gonna try himself some, but all this forward his end as well. But for niggas to go in, because niggas they're gonna be running to try to take this, but this gonna be the outcome, of them running to this devil. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me, bro. When you read verse 2, get the word grievous and sore.
This is Revelation chapter 16. You want verse 1 and 2 or just 2?
You can read verse 1 and 2.
This is Revelation chapter 16, starting verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. Verse 2, and the first went out and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image.
So there's gonna be an outcome of the people. A lot of people when they take this is gonna be the outcome of them because they're gonna get this grievous sore. This gonna go into his grievous. But we're gonna get grievous first, and then we're gonna get sore.
So I can say grievous. My bad. Okay, this is that word grievous in the Greek.
Get that second definition.
Strong's G 4190. Paneras. Paneras.
Okay, you said the second definition.
You can read. You can read all of that right there in the second definition.
This is outline of biblical usage definition 2. It says bad of a bad nature or condition in a physical sense, disease or blind in an ethnical sense, evil, wicked, or bad.
So it's gonna be bad for those that take it, because they're gonna be diseased. They're gonna be stricken with what? They're gonna be in a bad conditions. Again, these sores. Get the sore.
I got you right here.
I may add real quick the complete opposite of what he was promoting.
Never trust thine enemy.
This is the word sore in the Greek.
Strong's G 1668. Helkas. Helkas.
All right, this is outline of biblical usage definitions 1 and 2. A wound producing a discharge or a discharge pulse, a sore or ulcer.
Yeah, a discharge pus.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be. Now you say, bro.
I said when you have them type of sores where it's got that discharge, that usually is a sign of an infection.
Yeah, they're gonna be an infection because he said it's not gonna be a good thing because it never really just turned out right. In so many words, when you integrating, when you're trying to do a man with this type of basically they putting foreign objects in them. And I got this word also. It says also, this is a Google definition, is an open sore on the skin or a mucosis or mucous membrane, typically caused by a tissue erosion. It's typically most common types are peptic ulcers, sores of the stomach, skin ulcers. But basically, it's going to be an open sore. Basically, like a cancer, you know, because why? Because you went and you trusted this devil, and guess what? Now you gotta. These are the results of that. You know, rather than the true healing and what waiting for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, hey, people gonna be running into this devil like, hey, he the best thing popping, you know, to put everything back in alignment to where they once had.
Bro. That's exactly right, bro. Because like I say, this technology is not meant to merge with the body, you know, and there's him also telling the Most High that he got it wrong, you know, and that he can enhance, you know, what the Lord already made perfect. You know, he's trying to add to what the Lord already perfected in the book of Genesis, man. You know, and if you're crazy enough to let this man put technology in you, all right, especially putting in what they call a neural lace, you know, where this nigga's actually linking, you know, little tentacles to your neutrons, all right, in your brain. Okay, this nigga is pretty much hacking your neurological system, man. And he's experimenting. Esau don't know the ins and outs of how all this shit work, man. You know, he just turned the earth to a big science lab, man. And that's why he wants control of everything to where there's no great rebellion that this nigga tries to tap into immortality. Because ultimately he wants the birthright, man. You know, and he wants to try his best on the left hand side to tap into immortality. So forever, and he wants to try to live forever, man. And that's him trying to bless himself through technology, man. And you people are just going to be guinea pigs, man. But he's gassing you up, all right? He's gaslighting you, okay, with this technology as if you're going to be so far behind that you got to merge with it, man. You know? But yeah, y'all brothers got it. We get the closing precept. Last few precepts, brothers got it.
Can you give me Daniel chapter 3 verse 3 down to 5 in the NLT?
I got one we can end on too, bro. Out to everybody. You said you want NLT?
Yeah.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verse 3. It says, so all these officials came and stood before the statue of King Nebuchadnezzar. It's like before the statue King Nebuchadnezzar had set up.
Because King Nebuchadnezzar had issued a commandment that all the officials to come. He called upon all the officials, and that's what's going to happen. And in our time, he's going to call on your superstars, your actors, your rappers, your governors, your mayors, your generals. He's going to call everybody that has some kind of sway over the people, some kind of high status to push this Motb. Continue. Bubble shot.
Verse 4. Then a herald shouted out, people of all races and nations and languages, listen to the king's command.
People of all races, nations, and languages. What? That was everybody he had dominion over. What it said in Revelation: free, bond, rich, poor. All them going what? You're gonna have to take their Motb. Come on. You got it. Continue.
Verse 5. When you hear the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipes, and other musical instruments, bow to the ground to worship King Nebuchadnezzar's gold statue. I got you. Anyone who refuses to obey will immediately be thrown in a blazing furnace.
They're gonna be there's gonna be an order, a decree to put them to death. Why? Because they're going to be like, these are the rebels. These are the ones who are, who are against you. What's that word I'm looking for? Treason. And they got another word they're gonna use. And these say that big T word. Y'all know the old T word I'm talking about. They're gonna call us that. You know, you're gonna be hated amongst the people, those who are with this system. You know, who is with and for this system. And like, why didn't you receive it? Why didn't you bow down? Just like when Big 19 was walking around. Why did you drink the juice? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it.
Anybody else got one?
Come on, bro. I think you said you had one to end it on, dude. Tyler, one, you good?
Oh yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm just listening.
Come on, bro. Well, you can take it out. I'm not.
Because we know the Lord told us, this man, he's gonna get so far, into, his plans. He's gonna get to a point. He's been given a bound, but when this devil, when this devil just thinks that he has it all figured out, when he get ready to, enjoy his the fruit of his labors, so he may think, the Lord gonna pull the chair from under this nigga, man. This is Job chapter 23. This is Job chapter 20. Let me see Job chapter 20 and verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So, like it said, like the scripture says, he's been given bounds that he cannot pass. So Esau thinks he's gonna be able to implement this. He's gonna be able to hack into immortality. He's gonna be able to steal the birthright. And he's gonna be able, once he has all that done, he feel like he's gonna be able to enjoy all of that. But no, Yahweh Shema Shah is telling him that once he gets to that certain point that the Lord has established for him, then that's it. There is gonna be no more digital system. There ain't gonna be no more C-Hip. It's only gonna be Esau for another 1,000 years after that, and then after that ain't gonna be no more Esau. So this devil, he has to get so far. We know through prophecy, there are certain things that have to happen before, Yahweh Shah is going to return, via Yahweh Shema Shah. So we know that the devil, he has to implement this. So it's going to get to a point where it's mandated. It's going to get to a point where you're going to have to get it to go and, take part in society. Like the quote going into. There are gonna be the chipping stations. All this is gonna happen, but once that happens, we know that we are literally at any given time we're literally right there of Yahweh Shah returning, and that's what we waiting on. Our ratas are, we keep that mindset. That's what we waiting on. Damn the sea hill, we waiting on Yahweh Shah.
Well said. So point's been made. We know where the devil is going. He has no option, but to move forward with this agenda. He got the Lord is pushing him to bring this to pass so he can end the empire of Esau Edom, man. So we're in some beautiful times, some serious times, and some beautiful times, man. So may the hopeful elect endure, with patience, faith and courage in these last days, okay, to stand against the wicked one. So Lord will you brothers, all right, and you few sisters edified once again. I'm going to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the whole elect. Shalom.
Shalom.